The universe has already ended, and you're just watching the replay.
Dismantling the illusion of time. In this explainer, we're diving deep into the dark realities of the cosmos. We build our entire lives around the comforting tick of a clock, assuming those seconds pass exactly the same for everyone else. But as we'll see, physics hides some terrifying truths that shattered that illusion completely.
Gravity breaks the clock. You know, that comforting idea of a universal now is actually a complete lie. When you glance down at your watch, you naturally assume the rest of the universe is ticking along at that exact same second. But that's a total fabrication dictated entirely by gravity. Time isn't some smooth, even river flowing the same way for all of us. It's a warped, jagged landscape.
The universe is built out of incredibly dense superclusters and vast, empty cosmic voids. Because massive gravity physically slows time down, our reality is fundamentally fractured. Take an advanced civilization living out in an empty void. They've actually aged billions of years faster than a civilization trapped deep inside a massive supercluster. The phrase right now means absolutely nothing out in deep space. We're all basically trapped in our own isolated, unsynchronized bubbles.
And this fracture turns into a true nightmare, right at the edge of a black hole. If you were unlucky enough to fall toward an event horizon, anyone watching from the outside would never actually see you cross it. First, the light coming off of you would violently stretch and fade into a deep red, as gravity literally pulls at the waves of your existence. Then, your movements would slow down to a permanent crawl. To the rest of the universe, you'd just be frozen in time, hanging there as a ghostly image plastered against the abyss forever.
But crossing that boundary forces us to confront something even worse. Inside a black hole, the fundamental rules of space and time completely swap places. Think about how you can't stop yourself from moving forward into tomorrow. Well, inside a black hole, you can't stop yourself from moving toward the center. Falling inward is no longer moving through space. It's an unavoidable plunge through time itself. At that crushed center, there's no past and no future, just a singularity where time simply ceases to exist.
The shattered timeline. If time can literally be crushed and destroyed by gravity, then our foundational belief in linear cause and effect is deeply flawed. The cozy idea that event A always perfectly causes event B, that's just another illusion waiting to be broken. Here's the thing about the fundamental equations of physics. They don't actually care which way time flows. They work perfectly backward and forward. We only perceive time moving forward because of entropy. That's the inevitable rule that things naturally get messier over time. Think of it like a perfectly clean room. The universe started in this miraculously lucky state of perfect order, and time is just our brain's way of measuring reality as it constantly falls apart. But if time is simply the measurement of things getting messier, then time inherently has an expiration date. When the universe reaches maximum chaos, a state physicists call heat death, everything will go totally dark. There won't be any energy transferring, no warmth, and absolutely no movement whatsoever. Time will physically stop forever in a completely frozen void. Long before the universe dies, though, its microscopic building blocks are already ignoring the rules of time entirely. Think about how a timeline usually works. Down at the quantum level, events simply don't happen in a neat straight line. Through a phenomenon called quantum superposition, scientists have proven that an event in the past and an event in the future can actually cause each other at the exact same moment. So the timeline isn't a straight path at all, it's a scrambled blur. And that scrambling opens the door to something called retrocausality. There's this chilling concept called the delayed choice experiment, where scientists found that measuring a particle at the very end of its journey somehow dictates the choice it made at the beginning. Let that sink in. The future reaches back and alters the past. It implies that your history isn't written in stone. It's written in water, constantly rippling from things that haven't even happened yet. If the future really can alter the past, we have to look at the exact opposite of the black hole we just talked about. We have to look at the white hole. This mathematical certainty is basically a time-reversed anomaly. Instead of consuming light, it violently rejects it, vomiting the past straight into the future. There's even a disturbing fringe theory from our source material suggesting our Big Bang was just a white hole event, meaning our entire reality might just be the exhaust fumes of a cosmic machine running in reverse. It sounds impossible, but we've already witnessed matter rebelling against time. Nobel laureate Frank Wilczek asked a seemingly crazy question. Could atoms arrange themselves in a repeating pattern in time? The answer turned out to be yes, and it led to the creation of time crystals. These are localized glitches where matter loops infinitely between states without ever losing energy.
They are completely immune to the eventual heat death of the universe. Right now, we're trapped in a local bubble of standard forward-moving time. But the theory of eternal inflation warns us about a violently expanding multiverse right outside our borders. First off, it dictates an endless ocean of high-energy space. Inside that space, other multiverse bubbles are flying apart from us faster than the speed of light. And the wildest part? In those distant bubbles, time acts completely differently. It might flow backward or even operate in 5 incomprehensible dimensions. The timeless prison, peering over these unreachable horizons, reveals a deeply unsettling truth about human existence. Our movement through time isn't a sign of freedom at all. It's the ultimate cosmic trap. The mathematician Kurt Gödel figured out that violently rotating spacetime can actually drag the fabric of reality along with it, physically tipping the direction of light. This creates what's called a closed time-like curve. Think of it as a physical path through space that perfectly loops back into its own past. If you traveled along this curve, you wouldn't just be moving through space, you'd move backward through history, arriving at your destination before you even left. The Novikov self-consistency principle. Now, the universe absolutely hates a paradox, and it will actively conspire against you to prevent one. According to this principle, if you travel to the past, you cannot change it. If you tried to stop a historical event, physics would literally intervene. Your gun would mysteriously jam, or you just happen to slip and fall. You are completely stripped of agency. You're reduced to nothing more than a static recording, forever forced to play on repeat. And that brings us to the ultimate cosmic horror, summarized perfectly by Albert Einstein. Now is an illusion. This is the foundation of the block universe theory. It's a concept that doesn't just break the flow of time. It kills it entirely. The space-time loaf of bread. Imagine reality as a giant, uncut loaf of bread. Every individual slice of that bread is a specific moment in time. The dinosaur screaming at the asteroid, your current life sitting here watching this explainer, and the eventual death of the sun. They all exist permanently, right now, in the 4th dimension. The past didn't vanish and the future isn't waiting to be born. The whole shebang is all just sitting there. Your consciousness? It's merely a spotlight moving through a dark room that is already fully furnished. You are essentially a static worm of flesh, completely frozen from birth to death in this massive block of reality. There is absolutely no free will. The script is already written, the movie is already on the reel, and nothing ever truly moves. If the future has already happened and the past never died, who is making your choices right now?